let's learn about Halo Campaign Evolved. You're not crazy. That title is kind of confusing. Halo Combat Evolved was the original game. Campaign Evolved is the new full remake. And somehow Halo is now on PlayStation. That kind of feels weird to me, but whatever. The game came out July 28th, 2026 on Xbox Series X, S, PC, Steam, and PlayStation 5. It was developed by Halo Studios and published by Xbox Game Studios. This release only contains the campaign. You get the 10 original missions plus 3 new prequel missions, 2-player split screen on consoles, and 4-player online co-op with cross-play. As of right now, there's no competitive multiplayer with this game. The plot is still Halo 1. Master Chief and Cortana crash on a giant ring. They help the survivors and fight the Covenant, which is basically an alliance of alien bad guys. Then they discover some things. I'm not going to spoil what happens next for the 5 people who have avoided this game for 25 years. Just know some things happen. Let's talk about who made the game. The original Halo was made by Bungie. Microsoft acquired Bungie in June of 2000. Before the original Xbox came out, its announcement called out Halo and said Bungie would play a key role in making Xbox games. Halo was part of the plan before the original console was even launched. Time goes by, then Bungie split from Microsoft in 2007. Bungie said independence would let the studio expand creatively and as a company. A few years later, Joseph Staten explained it more plainly. They wanted to control their future, own their new creations, and reach people beyond one console. He also pushed back on the idea that Bungie was simply sick of Halo. The studio still made ODST, one of my favorite games, and Reach after the split. It wanted the freedom to decide what came next. The deal left Bungie independent, but Microsoft kept an ownership stake, its publishing relationship, and of course, Halo itself. Basically, Bungie left, but Halo stayed. Microsoft still needed somebody to run Halo, so it built 343 Industries. In a 2022 Halo article, people from the team explained that 343 started more like a group managing the franchise and outside projects. Building Halo 4 turned it into a full game studio. Then in 2024, 343 became Halo Studios. The team changed its structure, production process, technology, and parts of the working culture that they had. So that's who developed the game and a little bit of their story. Moving on to Campaign Evolved's game director, Greg Hermann. I actually think he has an interesting story. His Halo credits include engineering work on ODST and Reach, technical leadership on the Master Chief Collection, and technology direction on Halo Infinite. His work on the first Combat Evolved anniversary is the most interesting part to me. I found an old game developer article where the team explained how they rebuilt it. Hermann was the technical lead on the 343 side and knew Bungie's technology really well. He helped add online co-op while keeping the old simulation synchronized. So the guy directing this remake already helped rebuild the same game once. He keeps showing up wherever different generations of Halo technology have to work together. Next, let's talk game engines. Bungie engineer Chris Butcher said the studio started building the traditional Halo engine called BLAM in 1997 and used it for every Halo game Bungie made. For Halo 4, a developer from 343 said the team took Bungie's Halo engine platform and modified it heavily. Then for Halo 5, Xbox described the engine as new and more powerful, while also saying core parts from the earlier games carried over. 343 kept working with inherited Halo technology. In 2018, it introduced the engine Slipspace for Halo Infinite and described it as years of work by hundreds of people. 6 years later, the Slipspace engine was axed, essentially. The studio moved future Halo projects to Unreal Engine 5. Interestingly, Slipspace hadn't suddenly stopped working. Halo Studios said Infinite would keep being supported through it. The problem was maintaining the engine while also making games. Some parts of it were almost 25 years old, and new employees had to learn studio-specific tools just to manage that engine. Unreal 5, on the other hand, already had many of the rendering tools they needed. It was also easier to hire people who already knew how to use it. The studio didn't explain why Infinite stayed on Slipspace. My thoughts on it are this. Pretend the video game is a building and the video game engine is the foundation. Once that building is built, you don't casually replace the foundation. It's almost impossible. Before the Switch, the team built Project Foundry. That wasn't a new game. It was a production test for learning the Unreal Engine and tools. The work they did in Project Foundry fed directly into Campaign Evolved. That said, under the hood, Unreal 5 isn't doing everything. The new presentation runs through Unreal. Underneath it, inherited Halo code and simulations still handle the combat. One developer described that simulation as 25 years of work with Halo Reach in its foundation. So the new Unreal presentation is wrapped around old Halo behavior. It lets the team rebuild how Halo looks without turning the combat into some other shooter wearing Master Chief's armor. Next, let's talk about Campaign Evolved's art director, Donnie Taylor. Taylor's Halo credits start with 3D art on Bungie's Halo Reach. He later led structure art on Halo 4, built multiplayer environments for Halo 5, and became an art director on Halo Infinite. Now, he's the art director remaking the game that started the whole series. Taylor explained that his team starts with mood sketches. They pick the feeling they want and use that sketch as the target. For Campaign Evolved, the team had to play both the original and the 2011 anniversary version. They thought the anniversary version had some great work, but parts of it moved away from the darker, stranger mood of the original. This time, they studied the original art, old Bungie sketches, anniversary, and later Halo games. Every art asset was rebuilt, but the old idea still had to be readable underneath extra detail. The change list is pretty big in the game. You can sprint, aim down sights, hijack vehicles, drive a Wraith, use later weapons, and play remixed encounters. The library was also adjusted, so maybe Guilty Spark can finally give me useful directions. There are 42 collectible skulls and a campaign remix mode. Skulls, you might remember, weren't in the original 2001 campaign. They were a Halo 2 innovation that was later added to Combat Evolved. The 3 new Operation Meteorite missions follow Master Chief and Sergeant Johnson before the original campaign. I'm playing the Xbox version with the boys on Legendary right now, and we have 2 missions left. We are having a lot of fun playing it. I will say that the new prequel missions are probably the weakest part for me. They're not terrible. They're just kind of underwhelming next to the campaign everybody already knows. Overall, I really like the game. It feels very Halo, and I love that feeling. So that's my quick review. How did everybody else feel about it? Metacritic called the critic response generally favorable. Steam's reviews were mixed. The complaints focus on missing competitive multiplayer, technical problems, old level design, and paying $50 when the Master Chief Collection already exists. The multiplayer and some of the technical complaints make sense to me. Most of the criticism doesn't. Praising the remake for preserving Halo, then complaining that parts of Halo still feel old or quote-unquote old-level design is a really strange argument to have. But hey, you do you. To me, it makes sense why Halo Studios started on Campaign Evolved. If this is going to be one of the main Halo teams, starting at the beginning is a good choice in my opinion. The studio was changing its tools and the way it made games. Halo 1 gave everybody a familiar target while they combined all these pieces of Halo history. I am really enjoying the game. It takes me back to a beautiful time in my life, and I love that feeling. So maybe nostalgia is very powerful with me on this one. The new missions are kind of meh, you know? And Halo on PlayStation is still weird, but it's a very, very fun game with the boys. Speaking of which, I'm uploading our blind legendary playthrough on my main YouTube channel, the XoneBros. It is a podcast channel. Feel free to enjoy that if you so wish. Hopefully we'll learn something new about one of my favorite game series of all time, Halo Campaign Evolved. Thanks for watching.